Welcome to our podcast. Today we have a very interesting guest, Ilja Zonov. We're going to pick his brain about everything that has to do with AI, and including talking about his company. We are joined by Mila Taskanin. It's my co-host. Hi, Ilja. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Ilia. I'm the founder of Clario. We're a performance marketing agency, and that's running paid ads. Running paid ads for DACH clients, and we're making sure that all the tracking is set correctly and the data is flowing correctly, which is resulting in best possible efficiency for the clients.
Can you talk more about it? Like, for example, what kind of problems do usually clients
Hey,
come to you with?
like our core problem, like the core problem that I see is the tracking, because nowadays, like in performance marketing, the things that used to work like 5 years ago, when the data landscape was completely different and there were much less privacy related limitations, it changed completely nowadays. So like before, you needed to have like certain expertise and people running campaigns on like with their hands, and like that was the key differentiator. But now the data and how like the data is flowing to the ad platforms is a very big thing, which not many agencies or people are able to manage. So the key thing that like the key problem that we are solving is connecting the business data with the marketing data and making sure that it all flows correctly. Yeah. Sorry for the technicalities, but like if I want to describe it, like that's the.
No, we want technicalities. This is how our listeners will understand and how we understand better. But like, what do founders, your customers, who are your customers, founders, or like
Mhm.
who do you work with most of the time? Like it's a B2B, right?
Mm, exactly. It's B2B. It's startups in A to C round. So well-founded startups that are looking for growth and need hands-on support with performance marketing, like with Google Ads, Meta Ads, and so on. And as well, like I was working for Get Your Guide for a long time, and I'm still working with them as an individual consultant now. So my core customer is still Get Your Guide, but growing, like I'm trying to acquire more of startups and A2C rounds,
All
especially in the
right.
pet industry. Like that's the core industry that we're looking at right now.
Yeah, talk about more about pet industry. You mentioned before. Would like to know more about it.
Exactly, yeah. So that's one of our core or anchor customer is a startup in Switzerland, in Zurich. They're running a dog sitting platform for Switzerland, basically connecting dog sitters with dog owners. So the problem that they're solving is people are traveling or people are like going to work, they're having some plans, but nobody can stay with their dog. Uh, and there are sitters on the other side that are ready to sit with someone's dog. Maybe there are students that don't want to commit for having a dog but like dogs, and so want to spend some want to earn some money. So it's a double-sided platform where we like on one side acquire sitters, on the other side acquire owners and connect them together. So yeah, as well there, like the main thing that we've been working on lately is like connecting all the business economic like the events, like the backend events with the marketing platform. So like now we're ready to scale the product.
Mm.
Yeah, we're ready to scale product because like we did like a huge infrastructural integration.
What kind of AI tools do you use usually?
Mhm.
Maybe AI agents?
Day to day, mostly using Cloud Code, like with a Warp Terminal. And I'm using it for pretty much almost everything that I'm doing nowadays. For example, like for not creating content, but like modifying content and like SEO optimizing content. Or for example, creating concepts for banners and creating the first visuals that can be handed over to designer. It saves a lot of time. So for example, like when I have an idea what I want to post about on LinkedIn, I write it by points, give it to Claude because it has like all the skills, like all the context about the agency, about what I do, about my hosting plan, about my content plan, about what we do for the clients. And basically, yeah, it has everything. And when I have an idea what I want to post about, and because it also has like the context of the recent work done, like it makes things extremely simple, or not extremely simple, but like extremely efficient and structured. How I write content with it, for example. And then yeah, same thing goes with the banners. Like I generate banners like with it, and then hand it over to designer. Of course, like I would not use them as they are, but I would say it's like 70% is done, and like the other 30% needs to be done by humans still. So yeah, the same goes with content. Like the content is good, like it's maybe 80% done, but you still need to like rewrite it and give it a human touch. Otherwise, yeah, I think it's still like not 100% there yet. It's still like recognizable in a way that a machine wrote it otherwise.
So I'm on the Claude Pro plan, and I found that in terms of generating images, it's not that great. Generated very simple, primitive images for me. So, and then because I'm using different AI tools at the same time, like Perplexity, Grok, DeepSeek, Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude. And I found that, for example, ChatGPT is much better.
Yeah.
Like I ran the same prompt through Claude and ChatGPT gave me much better results. I don't know why.
I think ChatGPT, they recently, I think 2 weeks ago, they introduced their new Images 2.0 model, like which is yeah, it's amazing, it's super creative. That's
Yeah.
also one of the tools we very actively are using with a designer. Yeah, it's amazing.
What about analytics? So, okay, first of all, you launch ads, but then you need to control that.
Yeah, indeed. And to analyze data, it's also like AI is helping a lot. It's amazing. What I used to do, for example, what I used to do for Get Your Guide is working a lot with SQL and writing queries, which and connecting the data, like the marketing reports with the performance reports, with the location reports, which used to take lots of time, like one query, like one big query or like one notebook could easily take like 4 hours or 6 hours of my time. Well, nowadays, like I have Claude connected to the databases, and like it has all the context of like what the individual tables mean. So instead of like writing the queries by myself, I can explain the request to Claude, and like yeah, it analyzes the data for me, kind of. Like if you know how it's working, like how to communicate with a machine, then it's like really efficient if you can like write a clean prompt. So you still kind of, I believe, at this point needs to have the understanding how it works, like what's happening on the technical part. And yeah, if you can explain it, then like what used to take 6 hours now takes an hour basically. Like I just need to check the data and verify if it's indeed working, and if it is, like I saved a lot of time. It's amazing.
But in terms of prompts, for example, you can ask AI to write prompt for itself and then work on with that prompt to give you the.
No, for sure. But especially like when it comes to analytics, you sometimes need to be like pretty exact, like what's exactly, like what are you looking for? At least, like especially companies like Get Your Guide, like this enterprise level, because they have like pretty specific like metrics that you need to look into, and like attribution, and yeah, like you need to know kind of the schema of the individual table. Yeah, because like super customized. If it's something generic, then I believe it's more easy to let AI completely do the job.
What do your customers tend to overestimate or underestimate when it comes to paid ads?
Maybe overestimate the long term, or underestimate the long term impact. Like they expect when you start running ads that you see like revenue coming in like straight away pretty much. While it's usually like it's a cycle, like you need to give it some time and until like people start thinking about you, like remembering you. Maybe they come to your website first time, like they drop and like they'll return second time, third time, and then like you'll see the results. So it's basically it's a accumulative thing. Like it's not as well once you stop the campaigns, they won't like the traffic won't completely drop because there will still be a post effect of the people who saw the ads like 30 days ago, let's say. So yeah, that's something that's like I guess makes sense because people are spending money on it and they want to see results immediately. But yeah, like depending on the product, it's usually not working like that. Like for some products, of course, it's shorter. For some products, the cycle is longer. But in average, I think customers tend to underestimate the length of it. And yeah, overestimate.
Do companies that you work with usually know where their leads are coming from?
If they start working with us, likely not. Once they are working with us for a certain amount of time, that we are able to either set up their infrastructure or fix what's there now, then yes. So ideally, we should be able to tell where their leads are coming from. Otherwise, we are doing a bad job.
As I know, you work on the DACH market, correct?
Mhm.
And there are so many regulations. How is possible to work with companies using AI?
With companies using AI. You mean because like sharing the sensitive company data is not possible with like generic? Yeah. So what you do for that is like not using the generic like website Claude version, let's say, for example, or like ChatGPT. Like you're having a console by like for example in terms of Get Your Guide, for example, we're using LangDoc. It's a console that is like privacy first, and the data is not being shared with the platform somehow, like the sensitive data. I don't know exactly how it's working, but yeah, that's what they told us to use, so the data is safe. Yeah, same thing goes with other smaller clients. Like when you are using, like for example, analytical tasks. Like you need to be sure that you're not using, like you're not sharing the private, like the first party sensitive data, like PII identifiers, like first name, last name, email, user ID, stuff like this. Like ideally, this should not be shared. As long as you don't share this ones, you're pretty much fine. Another thing is, of course, like how you send the data to the ad platforms, which I see is being ignored a lot, like due to GDPR regulations. You should be compliant to GDPR and like not share users' data with their platforms unless they gave their consent to share it. Yeah, I see many companies are ignoring this, and yeah, there are also some court cases that I saw that like the regulators are finding this. And yeah, that's super weird for me because the fix is like it's a 1 hour, 2 hours fix, and it can save like lots of money if will be fined. Like there's a huge or like there's a chance that you will be fined by a big amount of money. I don't understand why companies are ignoring it.
What's something that in paid ads people think that works, but it doesn't work in reality?
Maybe manual bidding strategies. I don't know, like everything can work in a way, I believe, like it's just for whom and with what. Like there's so many elements always when like you can, yeah, of something to work or not. But I believe like the general trend is like so many things are getting automated and like sticking to old processes.
Are companies relying too much on automation? You're saying that everything is being automated right now.
Yes, everything is being automated, and I believe everything should be automated as well, and like some companies are like behind on it. That's what I see, at least in some companies, that yeah, they're not quite like the landscape is changing, but they're not changing with the landscape.
What is the biggest like waste of money you see that people spend on?
Depends on what level. Like if it's bigger companies, for example, they might underestimate the they might underestimate the or overestimate the attributed revenue to their ad campaigns and overestimate the incrementality of ad campaigns. What I mean is like if you like stop your paid ads activity tomorrow, let's say, and it used to bring you, let's say, 500,000 or like let's say $10,000 a day, like attributed revenue to your ad campaigns. You stop it tomorrow, like how much revenue will you lose starting from the following days? Like likely it won't be minus 10K. Maybe it will be minus 5, maybe minus 6. So like this incremental revenue that is, so there will be still some clicks coming through and like some bookings coming through that are happening that would have happened even when the campaign is not live. And this is the factor that I think at some point, like when companies are growing a lot and like when they have big budgets, they see a lot of revenue attributed to their ad campaigns. And many of them are unable to tell what's the actual like incremental revenue that's coming from them. So like because it's also pretty complex. Like once you have the budget and like the volume to run it, setting it up, it can be a pretty complex task. Like, and it gets more complex with like adding like more channels to it, like different, different channels, different audiences, different geographics, and so on.
What channels do you use working with project in travel industry and pet industry?
So, like if we're just talking about me specifically in pet, we are running Google Ads and Meta Ads and Apple Ads right now. We are looking into partnerships. So yeah, partnerships with other like pet industry platforms, and so we can be placed on their website and apps, specifically Epic one. And for the travel industry, I mean, for Get Your Guide, it's if we're talking about a company, they're using I think all the channels that are available. I'm supporting them with like mainly Google Ads and Criteo, but as well, like I'm mainly really supporting them with the technical integrations and analytical tasks, and then kind of like connecting the analytical departments with the engineering departments with marketeers, like translating each other's language.
Okay. What about Twitter? You don't use this channel, just
Actually, not so much. It's not so popular is in the DACH market, as far as I know, at least in our industry. Maybe it's maybe in B2B. Like I don't know, to be honest. Like I haven't looked into it so much. I'm not even sure that Get Your Guide is using Twitter. I don't think so.
okay. What is the big difference with um, German market and American market, for example?
Well, I myself haven't been active too much in the American market, but what I know about it is like people are much more vocal and salesy in the US because yeah, it's I think you can see as well in Europe, like when people from the US are like working in a company, like they're very active, and like they can be very present on LinkedIn, for example, and reach out like a lot. And this is considered to be like a positive thing in the US. While in Germany, it can like it's the other way around. Like if people start like they will lose trust in you if you are like very, very pushy, very loud. Like they more like to be like considerate and like see numbers and facts. Yeah, like pretty moderate. It's like I would say not the opposite, but pretty different. Pretty different. And Yeah, I think in Switzerland, for example, it's even more. It's on another level. Like the personal connections are super important because like they're
But I think
pretty
it's changing
close.
right now. Having lived in the United States for 16 years, I can tell that it's changing. The ads that were working several years ago now don't work. And now, if you are approached directly by someone on LinkedIn, this is not taken really well. Like I'm talking about myself.
Hmm.
I see ads right away, and like immediately dismiss them. I don't like to be approached and to be sold something. That's why I think in the United States that tactics have changed. And now if you want to sell someone something, you develop some kind of relationship first, or you give information, you give some type of benefit or knowledge. And then when your audience likes you and trusts you, and then only then they can buy something from you, but not just because you have such an amazing product, because there's so many good products everywhere.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah,
They,
but
really need to develop relationships first with your potential customers.
But,
Hmm.
but this travel project is works on B2C market and pet marketplace for pets, also just for individuals, for
Hmm.
owners and people who would like to help. So this is a B2C market, and LinkedIn doesn't work for that as well. Just that's why I asked, because like Facebook, Instagram, what else? Threads maybe, Google Ads for B2C market.
Exactly. Yeah, as well, like Bing ads can be quite good in some markets. For example, in France and the UK, it's quite big. Uh, yeah, I mean in the US as well. Like it's not only B2B really when it comes to Microsoft, because Microsoft like Bing ads, it can be the Windows owners. They used to write something in the search bar in the bottom.
Okay, yeah. Do you work with influencers, bloggers?
Mm, I personally don't, but I work with user-generated content and paid ads. Like that's the only way how I work with them.
Interesting. Maybe what is more efficient, just as a blogger to post your content, or just pay for ads?
Hmm.
What
I believe
in
I
different
believe
cases,
in
maybe, yeah, it can be different.
yeah, like I think either way it's good to diversify because like different channels cannot harm for sure. You will be able to reach like a different audience and like you're likely even you need to approach the same users again and again, maybe through different channels so that they buy from you. So I would not like choose either or and like saying what's more efficient. I don't know. It's hard. Like it depends a lot as well. Like depends on the specific case and on the time and on the content. It's too many factors to say generically. Like of course, because like if you ask me, like I focus on paid ads, so I can tell you paid ads, but I don't think it's true. It's like organic influencers can be also very efficient. I'm just not an expert of it.
But you pay bloggers.
We pay, or like let's say our client pays bloggers to get their like content, like the videos.
Hmm. Okay. So you use only Claude for your work, or maybe you can tell about other different tools?
Mm. Yeah, like I'm using Claude, like I'm using Gemini as well. I think sometimes it's pretty useful when you're using, like when working with the Google products, for example, like when using, like working with Google Sheets or Gmail or yeah, anything related to G Drive, like organizing stuff or like manipulating Google Sheets. Uh, it's just more handy and faster sometimes to use Gemini in this case, but that's really the only way I'm using it. Other than that. Um, I'm also using ChatGPT, but more for personal stuff. Mm, yeah, like really my day-to-day AI tool that I use is just Claude, and I have some MCP integrated there. Like, let's say, for example, it's connected with ClickUp, like with the project management tool that I'm using. And it's connected with Figma, like the designs I created. So like it's calling Figma. Yeah, like that's the top ones I'm using, and it has like really all the context, like not all the context, but lots of context. So it's amazing.
Awesome. Okay, I'm just curious, when customers come to you, what do you have? They have already a social media department, or just or they tried maybe already and
Mhm.
ask help. How it works?
Yeah, it depends. Like some don't have any marketing setup, so like you need to build everything from scratch. Some have like a certain marketing setup, but it's usually it's not very advanced. So it's when there is a marketing setup, mostly the setup is pretty basic and like there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And I think it's also natural because like it makes a lot of sense because like when the company is small, they cannot hire like great marketing experts full time, especially because it's very hard economically. So that's where I believe it's great to hire an agency like on a part-time basis with like higher expertise because you don't even need, I believe, this full-time people. Like maybe you need one marketing guy that's like be able to operate with Cloud Code or like with AI agents and with the agency, and that's it. Like you don't need a whole marketing department when you're a startup, I believe.
Can I ask OpenClaw to run ads?
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think in the end of the day, it depends on the budget. Like if you have like a smaller budget, let's say, I don't know, like 2K, 3K, 4K a month, then I believe it's can be a very good use of the resources because paying an agency just adds fees on top of the marketing budget, which is small
Yeah.
already, and like it doesn't help if you spend like a big share of your total budget on fees. But from starting a certain budget, like I believe it's 5K, might be a little bit more even. Like it makes more sense to pay extra to experts who can who can make better use with the available budget actually. And then I believe that like completely automating the setup with AI will not be like you won't be able to achieve the best possible results doing this right now.
Why?
I haven't tried it, but I believe that like for example when you work with AI, like you still need to like correct it a lot, and like you still need to understand with your expertise like that some things like you cannot
Yeah.
trust it blindly, kind of like you still need to review things and you need to like you're the final decision maker, not AI. Like but it's good for research, it's good for tech context, but you cannot. So at least in my work, like that's what I see day to day. Like I'm asking it a lot, and I'm consulting, and it helps a lot in research, especially. Like I'm not googling anymore and like reading articles. I'm asking it to like write me a thesis, kind of, so I can read the summarized content from different sources, which is amazing. But like I'm still processing this information and like defining the plan, what to do, and like checking data. Like sometimes the scripts, for example, that it writes is not returning the data as expected, so you still need to verify the data and make sure that it works. So yeah, and these are the things that are that might be a problem starting from a certain scale. Like at small scale, you don't care about this. You need some traffic. You will get it with completely with AI, I believe, and like it's pretty easy to set up campaigns by yourself nowadays. You don't need a big marketing understanding for it.
Yes, I also agree that we it's about spending money. If you have like million budget, it can be risky.
Hmm. Yeah, if you have millions of budget, then for sure, like you need somebody responsible for it. Even for responsibility, indeed, because like I think what you sell to the client in the end of the day, it's really not just the technical expertise, but it's also the relationship that like you can report to the client. The client knows that somebody is responsible for this. Like you give him the confidence that everything is running correctly. I think the clients are also like, it's definitely not just a service as marketing per se. It's also yeah. It's more than that, which is not possible to replace by AI. At least right now, I don't know how things will change in the future, but so far I don't see it coming.
Since you mentioned the future, because our podcast is about human workers and AI workers, I wanted to ask about the future of AI and workforce. What do you think like a typical company will look like in 5 years with AI fully integrated?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Because right now we see the problem that like companies are hiring less juniors because like the work that juniors used to do is made by AI. So like people say that in the future we might have a problem that there are no seniors if there are no juniors right now. So something will change for sure. Like I believe that the work that juniors used to do, like juniors who knows how to operate with Claude or AI tools are going to be like there is going to be just less demand for such tasks, and like the work is going to be faster. So yeah, if we're talking about future in 5 years, I think the the main term that I would use is faster, because right now like my workflow like increased a lot, like increased in speed a lot. So with the things that I used to do like in a week, for example, I'm now doing in a day. Therefore, I can do much more things, and I am able to finish many tasks without building a team even. Like I can write content, I can run campaigns like with my partner. I can do client outreach, I can do analytics, I can do so many things. Of course, at some point I will need to delegate it more, but it's amazing how much is possible now. So, and I believe it's not gonna slow down in the next years. It's just gonna increase, which is, I don't know if it's a positive or negative. Like not evaluating it, but I see it as a trend. And I guess also it's always used to be like that. That things are speeding up.
I think traffic can be more expensive because there are so many products now. It's easy to build, but it's really hard to promote. So, what do you think about that?
For the traffic to be more expensive means there needs to be more demand for the traffic in the market, means more capital in the market. So I guess it's actually depending on the more top or line economic, like macroeconomics. Because in the end of the day, if there are more companies but they're not able, like they don't have the money to buy ads, then there will be the CPCs won't increase. I don't know. Like I see the global economics are not doing great so far, but maybe they will be. I don't know. That's a different level of expertise required to answer this.
Okay, Ilya, thank you for sharing your experience working with the AI tools. But could you tell us more what kind of companies, maybe your clients, pet projects, travel projects, and which one? And you told that Series A, Series C,
Exactly.
and
Yeah,
DACH market?
mhm. Like we focus on the DACH market and the pet industry right now, but we're also open to work with e-commerce and SaaS industries. So like that's the industries where we have experience. Yeah, mainly DACH market. Why? Because I used to like I lived in Germany for 15 years, 8 of those in Berlin, and the DACH market is very familiar to me. Well, I'm based in Barcelona right now, and I'm not focusing on the Spanish market, for example, because my Spanish is not fluent yet, and just the network that I have in Spain is not as strong as the one that I have in Germany. So that's the reason why we're focusing on it. But generally, like we're open to work with anyone. Like we're a small agency right now. It's just me and my partner pretty much, and yeah, we're looking for clients. We'll see where the journey bring us and what we focus on in the end. Right now is that.
Okay, good luck with that.
So we started talking about the future of workforce. What do you think? What kind of jobs are at risk right now and will be more in the future?
Any kind of jobs that require manual tasks and like repetitive tasks, especially. Let's say, for example, marketeers that run weekly client reports every week, like manually, like getting a sheet, breaking down the data, like I don't know, creating the same report chart every week again and again, inserting it to a presentation. I think that's the things that can be easily replaced by AI agents nowadays. Other than that, I think there was quite a big shift in content creation that like content creators are having a hard time. But well, I believe it's still like you still need to have a human touch, and like human written content is still valued at certain point as well. Maybe like not every client is able to pay for it, and like the entry barrier is much lower yet. But yeah.
Do you mean like AI generated content will be
Mm-hmm.
more in demand? I highly doubt that because when I, for example, for me, when I see an AI generated content, like, I just switch it off. I just Google it or ask ChatGPT and I can read it. Why would I watch
Mm-hmm.
a generated
Mm-hmm.
video?
Agree totally with this, but I believe that like generally in the market, like there will be less demand for content creators because there is a possibility to create content easily with AI. Like there will be a certain like market share that will be filled by this, like it will break basically because of AI. And I believe in content it might be more than in other yeah spheres. Other than this, I don't know, like anything repetitive and that doesn't require how you say analytics or not analytics, critical thinking. That's I think gonna be replaced first. I believe also like what's replaced, like it's gonna be evolving. Like one jobs are gonna be like dying, other jobs are gonna be created. So I don't think that people will sit without jobs in the end of the day, but like people need to stay up with the trends to be competitive in the market. Otherwise it's hard. But I don't think that it's because of AI. It can be because of anything. It's just things are changing.
Yeah.
Right.
By the way, have you heard about AI agent which create content for like can make reels, like post that and edit
Mm.
just for Instagram, for example.
hmm I heard of this, but I don't have any experience with this. But sounds interesting. I mean, why not? I would not personally let AI to completely take over like my Instagram, for example. But maybe for some industries it makes a lot of sense. For example, yeah, I don't know, for industries where you run like short campaigns and run many of them, and yeah, such as I believe in gambling industry, like you need to push a lot of content every day, like one campaign, second campaign, like there, why not? It's perfect. If it's like instead of a human going into the platform and like doing this manual work, like an agent can do it. Amazing.
Yeah, because everyone tells about that, but I never seen how it works and what the name really of this product.
Hmm.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I don't know as well.
You know
Okay.
that I think Instagram bot or Meta bot writes for your digital clone. Basically, that's just kind of to extend your life after you die,
Hmm.
and your image, your persona will still live digitally.
I read an article about this. It sounds anti-utopian or utopian. I don't know.
No, this is what's going to happen. Already
Yeah.
happening. Thank you, Ilya. Mili, do you have any more questions?
No, just I asked everything I wanted.
Thank you very much. It was very insightful.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting and for hosting. It was very interesting.
Thank you for coming.